Sometimes I ask hard questions that get a person to think. Am I losing the capacity to do that because I drop a few F-bombs? I will not ever suppress a part of myself to make another person feel better if I'm acting ethically. If you have the capacity to hear a truth and evolve through it, it'll make you stronger.
I think as you grow in a leader, you realize that you're not heartless, but you do use your heart less because you have to make logical decisions based off facts.
The biggest thing is, and this is what I appreciate about both of you, like to my soul. I know we don't spend a tremendous amount of time together, but you have to know I absolutely freaking love both of you. There is truth. That is your perception of the truth based on your experiences. And then there's truth like gravity. I jump from building, I hit ground, I might die.
It's not any easier for me than it is for anyone else. The difference between me and you is I do it. Okay, and I keep doing it. All right, and it doesn't mean that it's easy.
You're gonna blow. You're gonna lose your shit. We all lose our shit. It's ideally the work is making it happen less. And when we do lose our shit or fall off the wagon on a habit we're trying to maintain, the work is getting back on track faster and falling off the wagon a little less. Shit can be hard and you can do the thing anyway.
Get over it. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Right now, you either are seen and you take the cards as they lay. I know I get plenty of feedback. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Your ability to pick the people you surround yourself with influences everything. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you, babe. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Catalyst for the Trades. Today, I have the most amazing two women on the planet with me. And I specifically called this meeting to adjourn because these two ladies, I feel like if we had a single mom that decided to have birth a child every 10 years, they likely give birth to the three of us and didn't tell us. They were like, listen,
I love that.
you're gonna cuss, and you're gonna cuss too much. All three, go. I'm gonna give you 10 years apart so you can make sure every single generation is covered.
So what are the rules today?
This is the Break the Rules group that's here. I don't think we've ever all been on the same stage at the same time. So I'm going to give a little disclaimer to those of you that's ears are quite sensitive, or it causes you stress to hear things that might challenge your thoughts, beliefs, or feelings about yourself. This might not be the right podcast. With that, I have Miss Kathryn Elizabeth and Laura Kelly. Good afternoon, ladies.
Hey, girl. Hey. I'm glad to be here. This will be fun.
So I specifically invited you guys when, Laura, you had posted, I think you just got done with a speaking event. I'm guessing you got feedback at the event that made you have like a personal coming to Jesus or something after the event was over about, I don't know if it was a dropping an F-bomb on stage or something, but so
it was in the title of her presentation.
Oh,
yeah, I had the title of the presentation was how to have less shitty ass days, which I thought was pretty PG as far as, language goes. But I had a sixth sense. It was actually no one said anything. It was a sixth sense. It was a sixth sense that I either need to reconsider how I speak. I should certainly at least acknowledge that, I'm on stage not trying to be perfect. I'm just being me. And, there's a part of me that thinks take me or leave me. And then there's a part of me that is like, frick, sometimes I ask hard questions that get a person to think. Am I losing the capacity to do that because I drop a few F-bombs? I'm still, I think I know where I land. Here's where I land. I'll tell you where I land. Okay. If you're comfortable with cursing, you're going to hear me curse. That's who I am. If I feel like I will offend you or lose you, I won't curse. That's where I'm at.
I like that.
That's where I'm at.
So for both of you are not quiet nor passive, nor do I believe you go with the grain, nor do I believe you follow, but you lead with everything in your soul. Why? What got you there, and what keeps you there?
I'll tell what it is for me is I will not feel like I will not ever suppress what I believe to be I will not ever suppress a part of myself to make another person feel better if I'm acting ethically. And I believe one of the biggest gifts we can give to another person is to tell them how it really is versus BS them with a load of nonsense. I also feel like if you allow a person treat you like shite, you're not going to have the capacity to have self-respect. And if you don't have respect for yourself, no one under you is going to have respect for you. You can't lead a person anywhere if you don't have respect for yourself. Yeah, girl, for me, it's just an unwillingness to, I will own, if I go wrong, girl, I'll own the shit out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll own the shit out of that. I also expect the same from those I put myself around. And I also, like, if a person is willing to give me a hard truth, I'll take it. I struggle to respect people who run away from the truth. And I guess that's a freaking harsh thing to say, because people have, their scars. People have been beat up by life. But my message to anyone listening is, if you've the capacity to hear a truth and evolve through it, it'll make you stronger. But also, even if you've the capacity to look at yourself from a 360 perspective and look down, then a person can say whatever they want to you, and you get to decide whether it's true or not. You get to choose. But yeah, I just think nobody should feel so weak that they can't stand up for themselves, because I don't believe that person can lead anyone anywhere.
Amen to that. Kathryn?
I think that that's part of being a good leader. That's the hard part, that a lot of people choose to skip that hard part. They don't have the tough conversations. They don't make the tough changes in leadership. And that's doing a disservice to everyone around you if you're the leader. Right. And some people are not leaders, and that's okay. But part of being a good leader, you're there to serve the people, right? Serve the people who you're in charge of. And so to do that, especially I think as you grow and you scale and you have more team members and you have to serve the mass and not the minority, you have to make the hard decisions. And so sometimes, I think as you grow in a leader, you realize that you're not heartless, but you do use your heart less because you have to make logical decisions based off facts, like Laura was talking about with the truth. But you have to face the truth. You have to make decisions off fact. And that's showing, like Laura said, the ultimate love, care, and consideration for the people you're in charge of, because you're trying to do what's best. And that's what we have to do as leaders. And that's really what leading with your heart is about. Leading with your heart does not mean that you make everybody feel good every day. Leading with your heart does not mean that you don't fire somebody. That's not it. Leading with your heart is providing the optimal care, consideration, love, and pathway for the people who you're leading. And sometimes to do that, you have to make really hard decisions. You have to remove B players from your organization, B players who are really great people who you really care about, who you really love. But that's what you have to do as a leader. And so I think that for me, like, it's really easy to lead with my heart, but I also fire a lot of people. I also make a lot of hard decisions. I also tell a lot of people to fuck off. You know what I mean? Like that's a normal thing. And going back, like with the swearing, I do swear a lot. And it's not because I'm intentionally trying to offend someone. And that's where, just like Laura said, I will censor myself based off my audience if I know that there's someone in there who will be offended. Like my mother is a great example. My mother never swears, okay? She's like a very devout Mormon woman. And sometimes she's like, could you please just stop? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, Mom. And so I'll stop, you know. And sometimes I have some friends who they do not swear ever. And so I try when I'm talking to them not to say it, but they're my friends and they know me and my personality and that this is how I emphasize and communicate. So they're not like, they're okay with it. Now, if you're someone who absolutely cannot stand to hear it and you're going to judge me and judge my character and who I am as a person, or maybe my relationship with Christ or something like that, because I swear, like you're just, I'm definitely not your cup of tea and you should not be around me. We are definitely not aligned, you know? But if I know that you're offended by it, I'll do my best to censor it the best that I can.
I think the biggest thing is, and this is what I appreciate about both of you, like to my soul. I know we don't spend a tremendous amount of time together, but you have to know I absolutely freaking love both of you because you're authentic. And I actually have the greatest love for both of you as humans because I know what I'm going to get from you is real.
We were talking about social media. We were doing social media training recently with a group of people, and they said, well, like people like Kathryn, it might come easy to them, blah, 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 blah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
None of
It's
this
not
is
any
easy.
easier for me to post every day, to show up
No,
on live video, all of these things. It's not any easier for me than it is for anyone else. The difference between me and you is I do it.
I
Okay. And I
choose.
keep doing it. All right. And it doesn't mean that it's easy. And it doesn't mean that every single day, today, you know, December 3rd, 2025, I've been doing live videos for more than 10 years. Okay. When they just made live videos on Facebook a thing, I was in a group that had challenged to go live every single day at noon for 30 days. Okay. And that's been since 2015. I actually know that for a fact. It's been 10 years. We've been doing video on Facebook. I've been doing it for 10 years. So, still, when I hit live today, I'm gonna feel, does anyone want to watch this? Am I gonna sound stupid? Is my energy correct? All of the same doubts, fears, and anxieties that everyone else hits. And the difference is some of us hit the button and
And
some
so
of us don't. You know, and are you one of the people who hits the button or are you not? And if we pretend that we're perfect and I didn't doubt myself before I hit that button, no one's going to have permission when they're standing there in self-doubt to hit the button anyways. And I think, like Laura said, that's where the main lesson comes in, is that everyone that's doing all of these things, these people that you look up to, these people that are inspiring you, these people with these perceived supercharged confidence levels, we still experience the self-doubt. We still experience the fear. We are incredibly self-critical. All right. We judge ourselves way worse than anyone else. However, we always take the next step. And I
I,
think that's the lesson.
it is. I think it's interesting when I hear people tell me about me because a lot of times they'll say, well, you have no problem getting on stage. Did you notice that before somebody mic'd me up, I was hiding in a corner at every event by myself in a little corner, lucky to come out of the bathroom 5 minutes before I need to speak because I am a recluse. Every time I go to an event, I know you guys have seen me at events, I will find one chair. I will stay in that seat. I will stay away from everyone else. It takes an act of God to get me to go out and shake hands and have conversations with everyone there. But everyone thinks speaking is easy. No, I do it because that's what I need to do for my business every day. I would rather be chilling in my living room drinking a glass
I say
of
you're
wine.
not doing it for you. You are serving. When I show up to speak,
yes.
I am serving the people, and I pray that I have
It's
a message
necessary.
that impacts them, that they understand and they can apply to their life. I would say one of my best speaking engagements where I did, it was like a 45-minute speech in front of around 1,800 people. Beforehand, 30 minutes before I went on stage, I was upstairs in my hotel room, dry heaving, puking out of nerves, very calm. but dry heaving. And I was thinking in my mind, what if I can't stop throwing up? Like, I've only got 30 minutes before Joe Crisaro was on stage before me, and he was going overtime, thank God, with that. But I'm like, what am I going to do if I can't go down there? And I remember going down from my hotel room and waiting backstage and watching Joe and like running through my stuff in my mind and not being able to feel my heartbeat, not being able to breathe, being so scared to go out there. But, you know, when they called my name, I walked out.
What we do.
I'm mic'd up. They put my slides up and I got through. And I've developed relationships from that room that are serving me now. But we show up to speak, to serve, and we're still scared. I think everything we do, showing up on social media, anytime you're putting yourself out there and people are going to discover your vulnerabilities, that's scary. But you know what?
It is.
I ain't scared. No, I'm scared.
And you know that you're going to look back. We're all going to look back. Like, I know this, right? I know that there's going to be like 5 years from now, I'm going to look back at a video I posted yesterday. I'm going to be like, oh shit. Like, oh gosh. I won't even be able to. Somebody, a guy called Vic Svetlana, if he's listening to this, he sent me like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, a video that I sent him 6 years ago, trying to sell him on our program. I couldn't even watch the thing. I was like, I can't even watch the thing. And that's just going to happen. But like, it's what's required to get to where you really want to go. It's required. It's like the shit that's required is never going to not be required. So like, you either do it or you accept that you won't hit your dream or that you won't hit your potential.
I literally watch both of you. I have massive anxiety about doing a single video by myself. I don't know if you've noticed, I've never done a live stream. And when I put video out there, most of the time I put music to it because I'm scared to death to go live. I'll do this because we're just having a conversation. But when I see you guys go live on there, I'm like, Jesus, I'm supposed to be doing this. I watch it all the time. I did one today. But I think I've done 2 in a year. I posted one. I recorded. It took me 8 times this morning to get it done. I know I need to do that more often. If I like, we just have to do these. I think there's 2 things. So one, I think we all just choose, we decide, and we commit, and we go. And I'm going to get better at that on this single video thing that I have the thoughts come to my head and I want to get it out. I just don't. I think about it and I'm like, well, I'll invite somebody on a podcast so we can talk about it then. So I have a friend. I can do it then.
It's true. It's hard. I've been doing it for years. I mean, you can look back and see videos of me with these long blonde braided pigtails while I'm doing cooking videos on my strawberry farm in Wisconsin, okay, with hundreds of thousands of views. Costco hauls. I used to be the Costco haul queen in keto, okay. I was on every platform. You could still go back and see my videos from that time. I had red hair, blonde hair, switched it up, all of that kind of stuff, you know. And it's really hard to go live because there's no redo. You're just on there live, and it's a skill, and you have to become comfortable. One thing that I like to remember, whether I'm showing up on stage, whether I'm showing up on live, whether I'm showing up in a meeting, in a boardroom or a training center with a team, is that there are people who are here to hear my message, and they're going to hear it, they're going to understand it, and it's going to impact them. And there are people who are just here to judge me. There are people who aren't going to understand my message, and it's not going to impact them. There are people who are just going to look at me to criticize me, to make themselves feel superior and better about themselves. That's a great trait a lot of women have. A lot of men too, but a lot of women. With that, I have to remind myself, I am showing up for the people who can hear me, the people who understand me, and the people who I'm going to impact today, even if that's just one. And I'm going to show up for them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, live. And that's what I do. And I have to remind myself all the time, I'm showing up for that one person that needs me to show up today. Everyone else can F off, you know? And that's the thing. I learned that skill at some point in time. You go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, live, and you hit the little red button, and then it goes live.
And you're gone.
3, 2, 1, you're connected and live, and you just go for it, and you become more comfortable. It's never easy.
If we can get clear on what we value and act accordingly versus what we feel, life freaking changes, like really dramatically changes. When I first heard like, know what your values are, I'm like, that's just kind of soft shite. Like, I'm all right. I don't need that. But gosh, when I was forced to go through that activity, it threw life on its head in the best kind of way. So a lot of people think they know their values, but if you study your behavior or if you look at your calendar, if you look at your bank account, if you look where your energy is going, that'll tell you what you actually value. So like
Absolutely.
like that, and that like what I used to value unconsciously was it I wanted to achieve above all else, but that was driven from a wound of needing to prove a thing. That's kind of that kind of valuing that shit will burn you out over time. So like identifying what you
It will also cause somebody to push away the very thing they want. All their actions will go exactly the opposite.
You become far too emotional because your whole identity is tied to that thing. So it's very, what I tell people to do is get clear on what your like most fulfilled version of life looks like. I call it your rich life. And then ask yourself, what does that person have to value? And then use your values to like determine your emotional state, and your goals are the thing that pushes you. So like if I read out some of my values here, like one of my values is my top value after I consciously chose, because all my old values that were like subconsciously driven and driven from trauma and all that shit was like achievement, fucking prove yourself and all this crap. Is my first one is warmth. Second is calm. Third is health, vitality. Fourth is growth. But then a lot of people have, everyone has rules associated with their values. So you have to ask yourself, okay, if warmth is your top value, what has to be true in order for you to experience that? Or you might have old values like you might have old values that is like my old value was achievement, and my rule I had associated with it when I asked myself, what has to be true in order for me to experience achievement? It was, I have to make a global impact and be recognized globally for it in order for me to experience achievement. And it was my top bloody value. I was going to be miserable until the day I died. If I
probably die early trying to get it.
100% I'd have died early trying to get it. And I'd have been probably addicted to clonazepam because I'd have needed to be. Like for real. So we all have these subconscious values that are driving our life. So your job, if you're listening to this, is what does the most fulfilled version of me need to value? And then what are rules I'm going to make I'm going to associate with those values so those values are wildly achievable, meaning I can experience them. So like if I pick out warmth here, anytime I act loving or have love in my heart or have loving energy. So like that shit's so achievable. Make peace with your imperfections because you're always going to be imperfect. It's not about never being perfect. It's about, like I had a team member of mine, and she got on a call with me and she was pissed off at herself because she blew up on her husband. And she's like, I should be more evolved than that to blow up on my husband. And I said, so you're telling me that you have this standard for yourself that you're never allowed blow up? I said, girl, that's not real. The work is blowing up less often and getting back on track faster. You're going to blow up. You're going to lose your shit. We all lose our shit. It's ideally the work is making it happen less. And when we do lose our shit or fall off the wagon on a habit we're trying to maintain, the work is getting back on track faster and falling off the wagon a little less. It's not it never happening. Like we're human, we're going to make mistakes. And that's why, like, you know, we do the thing anyway, even if we're freaking scared, because that fear is probably never going to go away.
So it doesn't. I don't think that it does. I don't think that fear ever goes away. And I love like what you just did there. And I've been following Laura and participating in her trainings for some time and doing that work on my own. And like, I think that it's important that it's okay if that changes. I think a lot of times our values, what I discovered in my work with Laura was that my values were subconscious things. Like she talked about with achieving, mine was safety. Find people, find the community. If there's not a community out there, create one for yourself and then lean into those people. Quit listening to the people that have known you all your life and have some prejudged notions about who you are and what you can do. And then you can stop believing those things, cease and desist. I think I'm going to have to put Stephanie like back into attorney business, specializing in cease and desist orders. All my friends are going to start getting served. I'm like, what the fuck is this, Kathryn? But it's true. We just need to stop with that nonsense. I would say Jen, when people talk about you, I consider us like old friends. I'm like, I met her like long time ago at an event. Like we've talked, we've connected on social media. I know everything going on in her life through social media. I followed her on her business journey, you know, speaking and all of this. Like, no, me and Jen are great friends. What do you, I mean, I realized like we haven't spent a lot of time together or anything like that, but I've looked up to you. I've been inspired by you, still look up to you, and I'm inspired by you. And you're really one of those trailblazers, right? Building a big business, a reputable business, serving customers in the industry, laying those bricks by bricks in front of you because you know that there's a lot of people behind you. And I've followed that journey as long as I've known you. Similar with Laura, we've met. And I would say there's nothing the same about my life today than the day I met you, Jen.
Yeah.
I don't look the same. My bank account certainly isn't the fucking same. Thank God, because it was probably in the negative in that situation. That was before Fetchatech sold that I met you. You know what I mean? Like all of these different things. And I think that's just we're a sample of all of the people. Like you as being a leader, Jen, you know, you've laid those bricks where we're coming a little bit easier behind you and doing our own things. And I think that that's where lean into the people who have done what you want to do, for the people who you have the same mindset and you can relate to, and surround yourself with those people.
I agree. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Your ability to pick the people you surround yourself with influences everything. Ladies, keep living, keep being you. I appreciate your authentic self more than you could possibly know. I appreciate your time. I know both of your time is really valuable.
All right, hold on, Jen. We're doing it one more time. All right, there we go.
Live on the podcast. Let's go, you guys. All right.
All right, love you guys.
Cheers, guys. Love you both. Mwah, mwah, mwah.